Tamil actor Vijay has made an impressive debut at a political rally in Vizhupuram in central Tamil Nadu in what was billed as TVK, his party, the Manadu or the national conference of his party. He hit out, interestingly, both at the ruling DMK, calling them a bunch of corrupt folks, and he hit out at the BJP. He said that the DMK was looting the state in the name of the Dravidian Model. He called them a political enemy. Similarly, he took on the BJP by saying that he's against those who divide in the name of caste and religion, calling them ideological enemy. In fact, he struck all the right notes politically. It was a fiery debut speech, no doubt about it. But speaking at political rallies, whipping up sentiment of your faithful, that is one thing. Winning elections, and that too in a very, very contested field like the one in Tamil Nadu. There are many, many dozens of parties, small parties, caste-based parties who make a big difference, even though the politics of the state has swung between the two Dravidian poles, DMK and the AIADMK, for the better part of the last 50 years. Finally, Vijay is, at least from his speech, appearing to offer a genuine choice. The question is, how many people believe that this will be a real choice? How many people will buy this argument that he is offering a real choice in 2026 away from the two traditional Dravidian parties, DMK and ADMK, who have dominated the state's politics for the last 50 years?
நம்மளுடைய ஒரு எதிரி பிளவுவாத சக்திகள், நம்மளுடைய இன்னொரு எதிரி இந்த கரப்ஷன் கபடதாரிகள்.
பல அரசியல் கட்சிகளுடைய ஏ டீம் பி டீம் பார்த்திருக்கிறோம். இது பாரதிய ஜனதாவுடைய சி டீம்.
விஜய் அவர்கள் ரொம்ப வருட நண்பர் எனக்கு. His ideology is like old wine in a new bottle. He has taken a leaf from every political party's ideologies.
Political enemy is correct according to me. But fixing an ideological enemy is wrong according to me.
மீண்டும் சந்திக்கும் வரை நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
All right, can Vijay breach the oscillating politics of Tamil Nadu between DMK-led front and ADMK-led front? The politics is really, over the last 50 years, oscillated between these two parties. There has been a genuine need for a third alternative. Many have tried before him to try and fill that third alternative, but have not been successful. Can he succeed where other, perhaps bigger name stars have failed? Let's now open this up to our guests. Narayan Tirupati, spokesperson of the BJP, is joining us. Shekhar Iyer, senior journalist, joining us. Sumanth Raman, author and columnist, and Kasturi Shankar, actor, will also be joining us. Sumanth Raman, let me start with you first. I must first say, I mean, I have never heard Vijay speak at a public event till I heard the rally yesterday. And it was a very impressive speech. He struck all the right notes. The question is, will that speech translate into enough number of people turning up to vote for the TVK?
Zakka, I think first I sort of liken it to a movie. We've seen the trailer yesterday. The trailer was good. There was no doubt about it. It was a very impressive speech. And the fact that he was open enough to say who his targets are or who his enemies, political enemy / ideological enemies are. I think that also was something which was in some ways not fully expected. You know, people thought that he would go over the usual social justice, blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, without specifically, but then he took both the BJP and the DMK on head on. I mean, he went hammer and tongs at both of them. So I think that he has definitely struck a chord. But we need to watch the main picture. I mean, this is just a trailer. There's still another year and a half for the elections. What's he going to do on a day-to-day basis? Apparently, right away, we are told that he's going to go back to completing his last movie before he quits the acting world, which he has promised to do. So after that is done, who are the other very important things, Zakka, that we don't know is there is no team. I mean, we know that there is this one Mr. Anand who was a former MLA, but other than that, there is nobody who's known to the political world at all, or to people of Tamil
Okay.
Nadu. So how is he going to build a team? How are they going to communicate? How are they going to respond on various issues? How are they going to hit the ground? How are they going to build their booth level committees? I mean, there are 200 questions which
He
don't
did
have
refer
answers.
to all of that in the speech as well. He said this is not a one-day battle. We'll have to go back to the people. We'll have to live amongst the people. We'll have to convince the people to give us their vote. But I want to go back to Narayanan Tirupati. I think one of the impressive things, as Sumansi Raman said, he straight away positioned himself to anybody who says he is B team of DMK, he's taken on the DMK. I mean, straightforward, he said, in the name of Dravidian ideology, you're looting the state. To anybody who says that he's B team of BJP, he's taken your party also head on. So he's neither B team of BJP nor B team of DMK. So at least that criticism you should take away against Vijay. He is offering what he believes, rightfully or wrongly, is a genuine alternative to this politics between DMK and ADMK that the state has seen for the last 50 years.
See, Zakka yesterday only he has come out openly and he has spoken, and I don't want to criticize him for anything now, because yesterday certain things what he said he was right, and certain things, as you rightly said, he was trying to say what BJP is, and we will definitely prove that he is wrong. So I don't want to criticize him now because he is a child. This party is a child. As rightly Mr. Sumant C. Raman has put forward, I don't know how he is going to manage his day-to-day affairs of the party, and also the infrastructure. Tamil Nadu is a very, very different state compared to the entire India, other states. We need to understand here the infrastructure is very, very important. Organization infrastructure is very important, and that is why the DMK and the ADMK are doing well, because it is deep rooted. So it will take so many years for them to do that, and we are doing it. We are the third biggest party in Tamil Nadu, and the problem is that Mr. Vijay was trying directly. He was attacking the DMK, and that he is right. But having this ideology and his voice for removal of corruption, it doesn't match, because this ideology itself is corrupt. That is the problem. And he is also going in the same ideology and saying that he will be against corruption is not at all possible. That is what I say. Because how do you run the party? Ideologically, people will join. And you say that this DMK's present ideology he will take and he will remove corruption. Both will not say it together. So absolutely.
No, he said very clearly, I thought it was quite brave. Very few politicians modern day politicians in Tamil Nadu are actually brave enough to say, I believe in the Dravidian ideology of Mr. Periyar, but I reject his anti-God, anti-religion, this thing. Whoever wants to believe in whatever God they want to believe,
Zakka.
they can believe. He said that. He said that in as many words.
No,
I think that was
Zakka,
quite brave of him to say that.
No, Zakka, even Mr. Annadurai had said that. MJR had said that.
No, but
okay.
Annadurai, of course, was a direct descendant of Mr.
No, he
Periyar,
said
ideologically speaking. But
he said no, Zakka.
One second.
He said Ondre Kulam Oruvane Devan.
Let's be clear about this, that this is not going to be easy. And so let me ask Kasturi Shankar, we've had other actors turn politicians in the last 20-30 years in Tamil Nadu. Mr. Kamal Hassan tried, he was not successful. Mr. Vijay Kant tried, he had limited success. Mr. Rajnikant did not even enter the political field after threatening to enter. Maybe he was daunted by the task at hand. But Vijay is here. He's right there, and he's saying, in 2026, I am offering a third pole in this crowded political field. Why should we believe that Vijay will be successful where Mr. Kamal Hassan, Mr. Vijay Kant, Mr. Rajnikant failed?
Well, success, time will tell, but I'll say this. Where Mr. Rajnikant fumbled, where Mr. Rajnikant blinked, Vijay has gone straight for the jugular. Round one to Vijay. I think he has achieved the medical miracle of having BJP and DMK sing the same tune, speak in the same voice. So that itself is something that is very new to Tamil Nadu, where BJP and DMK have actually forgotten their differences and are talking against Vijay today. Is the talk of the town. Why should we believe him? Yes, we will be cautious. I think the people of Tamil Nadu have been treated to a lot of near misses and, nearly their situations, especially with Mr. Kamal Hassan, who, started out proclaiming his centrism and ended up as a DMK flunky. Unfortunately, he's one of the anonymous cadres of DMK at this point, and his party members actually have been left in the lurch.
In fact, yesterday when Vijay spoke, the loudest cheers were when he attacked the DMK, which I found quite interesting, because that means that there is a genuine sort of anti-incumbency or anger against the present dispensation, and he's tapping into it.
People hate the present regime, and Vijay is the right man here at the right time. I think that's what matters. He is tapping into the growing hate, the growing disappointment with the DMK regime. Now, while the BJP is positioning itself as an opposition party that opposes the DMK politically and ideologically, what Vijay has done is he's positioning himself not as the opposing party, because remember, his policies, his guiding principles are very similar to the DMK. In fact, I think of him as the Tamil Rahul Gandhi, because his speech incorporates his policies, his party mission sounds like a mission sheet from Rahul Gandhi. The same points: caste census, secularism, social justice, many women empowerment. It sounded straight out of the same playbook. But what he's doing is he's positioning himself as a replacement for the DMK.
So let me ask Shekhar Iyer this. Now, I don't know if he will replace the DMK, but certainly he could eat into some amounts of the DMK
He's
vote.
Looking at a Vijay versus Udayamati contest in 26.
I also think, Shekhar Iyer, where this whole game might actually be played in 2026 is, you have a lot of these smaller parties. The PMK got about 3 to 5% vote share last assembly election. The VCK got about a 1% vote share. You had parties like the Nam Tamilar Katchi, which has got 6.5% vote share last time. If he is able to consolidate all of those votes and get a 10% vote share, Vijay Kant in his first election got an 8% vote share, and he got, I think, about 6 or 7 MLAs. If he is able to do that, then he announces himself as the third pole in Tamil Nadu politics. Also, the other critical thing, Shekhar, please weigh on this. This alternate alliance in Tamil Nadu, the alliance that is opposed to DMK, Congress, others, which is BJP, ADMK, we don't know, as of sitting in October 2024, we don't know if BJP and ADMK are going into 26 election with that alliance intact. Yesterday, I thought it was very, very strategic again, very tactical also, that he did not attack the ADMK. He attacked the BJP, but he did not attack the ADMK. And he said, we are open to anybody who wants to join our alliance.
Definitely, Zakka, he has the potential and he has emerged as a disruptor. If you go by the reaction of all parties, they do see in him a potential of being a big disruptor. That's one. Number two, I am seeing for the first time a leader, who could consider himself as the generation next leader at a time when DMK is shifting focus to Udayamati's talent to appeal to Gen Z voters. So the issues he has been raising in terms of social issues, educational problems, those are the things that is at the moment is clicking with those very, very young voters, just the 18 plus, who are upset with the quality of education, who are upset with the quality of government services. There are a lot of things, and he was speaking in that tone. But at the same time, I'm also seeing a leader who is making a maiden entry, straight away talking of coalition. He is talking of an alliance of parties and coalition of parties. No leader has before made an entry starting with saying we should have a coalition and we should share power. This is something which is absolutely upsets the DMK. DMK, right from Karunanidhi's time, has been opposed to coalition. There is no question of sharing power with their alliance partners. Even Jayalalitha held that position. that no question of coalition. You can be an alliance partner, but not in the government. But here, straight away, he is making he is keeping the doors open by saying that I believe in sharing power. I believe in a coalition to start with, coalition of like-minded parties, but with the promise that he does believe in running a coalition, from alliance to coalition. First leader saying this. As you mentioned, he was silent on ADMK. He was silent on Congress. That's very, very significant, because whatever ADMK reaction you are seeing is more of it's not so serious. Talk about different wines in one bottle, new bottle, that's a very mild reaction. And also, as you said in the beginning, many people felt that he has been sponsored by forces close to DMK initially. But looks like he is going beyond those forces, because Rajinikanth could never get out of those influence of those forces close to DMK. That's why he had to back out, because of those people who are involved in the film industry today. They have a stranglehold and they are very close to the ruling dispensation. So for any actor to come out and at a time when still there is one big film left, one big budget film still is in production. It's very difficult for any actor to straight away attack the ruling coalition. So there are certain things which is marking out. And at the moment, when you see whether it is Seeman's reaction, Seeman says, no question, I have been plowing a lonely furrow, I'll keep doing it. So at the moment, everybody is a wait and watch, but he is a disruptor. There's no doubt about it.
So, Suman Raman, the question then is, whose vote is Vijay going to take? Is he going to take the ADMK's vote? Is he going to take the DMK's vote? Is he going to consolidate these smaller parties? Ultimately, look, I always believe any new player, if he is seen as a vote cutter, will be beneficial to the incumbent. But the fact that he has taken on the DMK head on, and I keep saying this, the loudest cheers were reserved for when he criticized the loot under the DMK. The DMK has officially decided not to send a spokesperson on any debates tonight. I don't know why.
Zakka, the answer is very simple. If Vijay throws his weight behind an AIA-DMK-led coalition of parties against the DMK, he will be in business. If he decides to plow a lonely furrow and say that, look, I'm now, the main opposition to the DMK, and gets delusions of grandeur, there is going to be trouble. Because I don't believe in 1.5 years you can get enough momentum to, and who else is left? He's not going to align with the BJP. He's not going to align with the DMK. So that leaves you AIA-DMK and Congress. And the Congress is sort of in a very tight embrace with the DMK. So basically, there is nobody else left. I mean, the smaller parties simply don't have the muscle. The communist parties together have about 1.5%, VCK 1.5%. That's not going to be enough to deliver anything for Vijay. So the bottom line is very simple. Here you have the AIDMK, which has 20% vote share, which he has not said anything critical about in yesterday's meeting, and it makes enormous sense for the AIDMK. For the simple reason, what do they lack? They lack a charismatic personality to take to the people. So I see this Pawan Kalyan kind of situation in some ways, even though ideologically Vijay and Pawan Kalyan are poles apart. The point really is, if he plays his cards right, and if he does not have delusions of grandeur that, he's going to become chief minister in 1.5 years, there is a very real possibility that he could get a share of power and he could be part of a winning alliance with a sizable number of MLAs in the assembly in just 1.5 years' time. Now, if he feels that he's going to go it alone, he's going to form the third front, and he's going to, or the fourth front, or whatever you call it, then he ends up helping the DMK to come back to power.
No, again, the question of tying up with the ADMK there's a whole ocean you need to cover before you get there. Because what is the balance of equation? What is the balance of power there? Clearly, Mr. EPS would want to imagine that he is the senior partner. Clearly, he doesn't have the same charisma or the ability to pull crowds as Vijay just demonstrated in Viluppuram.
That's why it's a complementary alliance.
At the same time, what about the BJP? Can the ADMK afford to not have the BJP as an alliance partner going into 2026? And vice versa. Can the BJP afford not to have the ADMK as an alliance partner going into 2026?
I hate to say this, one last point. I hate to say this, but I think the BJP is more or less back to square one in Tamil Nadu. I'm really fairly convinced that they are now going backwards in
Mr.
Tamil Nadu.
Mr.
And the huge blunder that Mr. Annamalai made by, forcing the AIADMK out will come back to haunt them for many years to come.
Mr. Tirupati.
Zaka, whatever Suman said is his wish, and it has been his wish for a very long time. So, the same Suman said it will not happen, but we crossed around 2%
It didn't happen
votes.
in the Lok Sabha
Mr.
election. I said that also.
No.
One second. Let him speak.
So it is his wish. He doesn't want BJP to, flourish. That's his wish. Okay, no problem. Mr. Shekhar had said, no leader has said that, we will go with, alliance party. If we wins that, we will have a coalition government. And that's what our party president, Mr. Annamalai, had said very clearly that in 2026, BJP, the NDA will form its government and with the alliance party government. That's what we have said. So I think Mr. Shekhar Iyer, I think he forgot to mention that. So definitely
for a beginner.
Okay, fine. I'm just telling you this has happened. So Mr. Annamalai had said that, and as far as yesterday's issue is concerned, see, again I'm telling you, Zakka, to have a political party running its day-to-day affairs in Tamil Nadu is not an ordinary thing. It is definitely totally different from other states in India. So in Tamil Nadu, it is going to be very difficult. And I told you that we have never, Kasturi was saying that both DMK and BJP are talking in the same spirit. No, it is not. So I have very clearly said, Mr. Vijay, whatever he spoke certain things really acceptable to us. He spoke certain things which is not acceptable to us. And when it comes in the ground, we will definitely try to answer him, but not now because he has only started. So I am of the view that Mr. Vijay has started. He is welcome to politics. All are welcome to him to politics. Certain things which he was mentioning, for example, it is NEET. And definitely we differ from what he has said. Yeah. But certain things about corruption, what he has said, we do accept. Even we are saying that Dravidian Model is nothing but corruption. But Mr. Vijay says he goes on EVR's way, EVR ways. But the EVR way and the Dravidian model is absolutely, it is corruption model. And how
but that's what I'm saying. Mr. Tirupati, what he has done is he has picked the portions of those ideologies and those political positions which are most popular in Tamil Nadu or most resonant with the audience in Tamil Nadu. He took an anti-NEET position. That is like the prevailing sentiment in the state. He's taken an anti-NEET position. You may disagree with it, but he has taken a popular position. He has taken EVR's Dravidian ideology, but at the same time, he has said that, look, we are not against people who believe in God. You can believe in whatever God you want to believe. 95% of the people of the state are believers, right? Again, a very popular position.
30 seconds.
Middle position.
30 seconds.
Third, on the corruption issue, like I said, he is head on taken on. I mean, it is obvious to everybody who he's talking about when he says in the name of Dravidian ideology, you're looting the state. He even talked about dynastic politics. So he has picked all those issues which are resonating with the people, and he's positioned himself as I'm taking the people's mood on this.
Zakka, I'm telling you, NEET, we are saying that it is because of corruption. We want NEET. They say they don't want NEET because of corruption. That is the only issue. That is the only reason they don't want NEET.
Okay.
And if Vijay is going to say that he doesn't want NEET, he is supporting corruption. And if even Annadurai, I mentioned, he said, Ondre Kulam Borvane Devan, but still Karunanidhi was following EVR's way. Even today, they bash, they want to eradicate Sanatana Dharma. That is not Annadurai's way. But if you see, we need to understand all these things. So that is what I said. Your ideology, you want more people to come. Where from people will come? In Tamil Nadu, 80% of families are in politics. You want this ideological people to come to you. They are full of corruption, sir. Please understand.
Let me get closing comments from Kasturi and then from Shekhar Iyer. Kasturi, so again, it goes back to, can he be successful where Mr. Kamal Hassan failed, Mr. Rajnikant did not even enter the fray. Like you said, he blinked at the last moment for whatever reason. Mr. Vijay Kant had very limited success. Sharat Kumar, I don't know how much political fortunes he's got. Frankly, I think one area where it differs, and again, to give credit to Vijay, he's really at the peak of his career. He just gave a movie which is going to touch 500 crores. he could have continued, given the given his previous generation, he could have continued acting as a hero for the next 20 years. He is
Yes.
leaving cinema at the peak of his cinematic career, at least from a box office point of view, and wanting to get into politics full time, 24/7. He's got one movie left, which I think he had already mentioned that he has to complete that movie. But other than that one movie, he's out of movies now. He's in politics full time. He's a 24/7 politician.
Here's what Vijay also has going for him. Unlike Mr. Vijay Kant that you mentioned, or Sarath Kumar, or any other person other than Kamal Hassan, Mr. Vijay does not have baggage. He carries no baggage into the political arena. So, and he has this huge fan base who are all under the age of 40. Literally, first-time voters in the state, women. These are people that are these are unknown entities because we've never seen them vote. And they turned up in huge numbers, in massive numbers yesterday. I had friends of mine attend as well, and they said everybody was between the ages of 18 and 45, and apparently they did not even whistle after Vijay started speaking and showed his hand to ask them to stay calm. So that kind of discipline for young people, I think his crowd management skills are out of the ballpark. It's out of the park. It's something that I haven't seen in a long time in Tamil Nadu. I also think that instead of taking a complete ideological change and ideological opposition, he's playing his cards very well by taking an inclusive approach, which is a slight departure from the Dravidian machinery that we've been used to. He's taking a slight departure. I think Mr. Kamal Hassan tried it, but he finally succumbed to, I think, financial constraints, most probably. But at the end of the day, Vijay, I want to say what Sumantra, I want to directly contradict what Mr. Sumantraman said. I don't think he's going to be able to be in partnership with anyone with chief minister aspirations. So that rules the ADMK out. I think he is going to try and go on his own with smaller parties. A lot of smaller parties today have expressed their support of his offer to share power when coming to power. So I think he's going to try 26 as both as a test of his individual strength, but also as a stepping pad to his chief minister aspiration.
So, Shekhar, I'll give you the final word. You know, again, with no disrespect to Mr. Kamal Hassan, I think Vijay speaks to a younger voter in a way that Kamal Hassan could not when he made his political debut. I think this Gen Z voter, ultimately in 2026, I strongly believe it's going to be about who manages to capture the imagination of the young. And you have three young leaders to choose with three very distinct political positions. You have Udayanidhi Stalin on the DMK side, you have Mr. Annamalai on the BJP side, and you have Vijay on the TVK side. And I think the young people of Tamil Nadu will choose which of these three leaders appeals to them the most.
Well, Zakka, you have summed it very well. And, his screen image is a person who is taking on the systemic failures with very radical solutions. And he appeals to the Gen Z voters, and he also appeals to the weaker sections. Most of his fans belong to the weaker sections. So there is a mix of image as a Robin Hood, but who believes in radical approach. So if you find he is coming with ideas, and of course, he's a better communicator than Kamal Hassan. Kamal Hassan, because of his penchant for the kind of language and expressions, he was seen more as the top of the mind actor. But Vijay is somewhat down to the earth, very radical, and keeps on harping on the systemic failure, which is upsetting our Gen Z voters. So therefore, he has a huge potential. And the last word I would say is, the way 3 lakh people gathered at that place, according to media reports and police estimates, none of them were invited over biryani or the traditional thing that is usually parties indulge in to get the crowd. And I mean, that itself shows that he has a tremendous pull. Maybe they are all his fans, but it's a question of time. What is the strategy he adopts? And over the next year, what you're going to see is a number of second-level political leaders who are unhappy with their own parties. They may start moving towards him.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a huge possibility. That can be from BJP, from ADMK, or even DMK. We know a lot of people are upset with the changes that is happening in the DMK under Uday Stalin. So you can see a new concoction before 2026 elections.
All right. Let's see. My own gut says it could likely be a tri-cornered contest, and you will see smaller parties, second-rung leaders sort of gravitating away from the DMK and the ADMK more towards Vijay. Also, the smallest parties, like I said, the caste-based parties, PMK and MDMK and NTK, etc. You will see that vote, sort of Vijay eating into that vote. I don't think he can get into a formal pre-poll alliance of any form with the AIDMK, unless, of course, this whole issue of chief minister is settled, which I don't think will be settled. But let's see how this plays out. It's going to be a fascinating 2026 election in Tamil Nadu. Thank you very much for joining us, all our guests.